Leos, hi. So I'm doing a reading, tarot reading for the month of June. So if it resonates with you, comment, share your story or your experience, or if you have any questions. All my information, if you want to contact me just to say hi or for a personal reading, is in the description box, okay? I'm just going to go ahead and get started. I already laid out my general spread here. And I'm going to be using an extra deck to clarify, okay? So I like to shuffle my decks beforehand, and I was shuffling my tea leaf deck for when I do the tea leaves at the end. Normally I do them at the end, and I like to see what what flies out if it sticks out to me for Leos. The one that flew out was family wishes come true. So whatever that means for you, take that as you will. Maybe it'll come up in the reading. I'm not sure, but we're going to just get started, okay? So right in your center energy, your present energy is the Four of Cups. This is an offer you might not be seeing at, and a love offer you might not be seeing from someone else, or opportunity of love for self you might not be seeing or be disinterested in. Crossing or challenging you is the Ten of Cups. That's the love that you have for yourself, and that you share with others, what they share for you, like the big old happy loving family kind of vibe. In your environment, I have the Strength card, one of the cards that represents you. Compassion, maybe holding back in a way. The past energy, I got the Two of Swords in reverse. This could be a choice. This could be a stalemate sometimes for me. This could be the lack of a choice. I'm getting a few messages here, so until I start clarifying throughout, I want to just keep explaining. Crowning your thoughts. This I found really interesting, and I feel like it's going to explain a lot of the rest of the cards, is the Tower and the Five of Swords. So you got a big transformation here, a very huge divine one too. The Tower is, when something is built on a weak foundation, it's bound to come down, as well as the Five of Swords, which is my petty tit for tat, kind of energy. It's normally not my defense card, but I'm getting defensive here for some reason. We'll see. Coming towards you, I have the Hanged One, the Hanged Man, and Judgment. The Hanged One being about enlightenment, seeing a different perspective. It could also feel like you're being a martyr. I'm feeling that as well. And the Judgment is that moment of truth when Gabriel blows that horn, the true essence of who people are. That's why they all naked. So I won't explain the hidden energy, your strength, your spiritual guidance yet until I get there with my clarification cards. But let's start off with your present energy right now with the Four of Cups. Clarify the Four of Cups, please. Okay, so right off the bat, I got the Ten of Swords in reverse, which I'm seeing in this case as a good thing, being paired with this Four of Cups, because the Ten of Swords is exactly what it looks like, just really feeling defeated. This is the full extent of pain, and it's in reverse, and I feel like it's because you're coming out of that. And the reason why I say that is because the Four of Swords is about healing and preparation. But then I have the Six of Cups, which is a soul tie of some kind, somebody that's important to you, that is significant for your spirit and your purpose. And it's not clear where this is coming from, but considering that I'm getting a cup with the Four of Cups, this is giving me very like a little PTSD, like a little I just got through pain. I've just been healing. This also looks like somebody familiar because of the Six of Cups. Like somebody familiar could have caused this. I feel like this person didn't mean to, though. We'll see. Let me keep going, because I also have the Ten of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck after I clarified. So this is definitely somebody you consider to be a part of that oneness when it comes to standing together, whether it's family or building together. But this cup here, this offer, I'm getting more so, I'm getting two things. Some of you Leos might not really see it for what it is, or some of you Leos just really don't want it due to a little PTSD, due to I've been through enough. I don't need no cups right now at all from nobody. I need to focus on myself. In your challenge, the 10 of Cups, I feel like it has a lot to do with what I just said, so I'm going to go ahead and clarify that, why it's crossing you. The Hermit, that's... I feel like that's kind of what I said, just an extension of that. Well, I got two things. King of Swords. Alright, so I'm going to tell you what cards did come out and what did not. Oh, okay, I got you. So, with the 10 of Cups, I think... Okay, so, see how her hoodie says over it, and she's just over cups, over love, over the emotion, over whatever that feeling is, and she's not really trying to look at this cloud. And I think with the 10 of Cups challenging you, this is about not really being able to see this. Not being able to see this as something that can be even realistic, or like just not realistic for you. Like, I'm not getting that, I'm not seeing that. It's kind of like, just like, it's almost like it's believing in Santa. It's like not real, you know? At least to you, or what you think you cannot attain. With clarifying that I have the Hermit, which is, again, it's kind of that introspection. I do also think this is a subconscious thought for you guys. So if you Leos are like, well, it's not that I think that, I don't think that, it might be more subconscious for you. And some of you guys, yeah, I'm staying to myself, I'm staying in my little dark, you know what I mean, situation. I got my own light to shine on me. I'm good. I'm not gonna try to keep hurting myself seeking for this. You know, as well as clarifying that is the 8 of Cups, which is, again, that walk away from cups that were empty or had bad things in them, just wasn't good for you. Them cups had milk, they didn't have water, you know, that kind of situation. And then the King of Swords, the Queen of Swords, excuse me, our Ice Queen here is like, well, regardless of how I feel, this is the facts, this is what happened. You know, so I feel like there's a little bit of a mental block here, because for some of you guys, you might not be as optimistic in terms of having something like this. Like I said, whether it's subconscious or not. But obviously, there's a lot of feeling here. And I don't know if there's a particular person or someone in your life that you do have feelings for. I just feel like because of the pain that we saw with this 10 of Swords and how you kind of got over that, it's like, I'm not really trying to go through that anytime soon. It took me a lot, and I had to sit in this icebox a long time to even be the strong queen that I am right now. So... But the thing is, with the 6 of Cups kind of clarifying that pain, I think it has just, I don't even think it's all the way romantic. I think it's everything. Romance is kind of just a reflection of that. It could be romance, it could be family, it can be dealing with anybody you love has always caused some form of grief or pain. So it's better not, that's why this is crossing. It's better to not have these unrealistic ideals. It's better for me to keep it with the facts. You know, and slice up anything that ain't about that. The fact is this. The fact is they suffer from this. The fact is they could hurt me, so I'm going to keep this sword up. Let me clarify the 2 of Swords in reverse that was in your past, because it was in reverse. Clarify the 2. Oh, that's, how many do I want? Oh, I also wanted to say, when I clarified the 10 of Cups crossing you before, a King of Wands wanted to come out. Like, kind of flipped over, but came in. So, it definitely, for a lot of you, could have been a romantic partner in the past. Fire, you know, being, can be very sexual. So, I do feel like it could have been a sexual experience that also brought you to this place of having to block out, because whatever sexual experiences or experiences you've dealt with has put you in that place of pain, maybe once or several times. 4 cards fell out. I normally don't. Okay, so for the 2 of Swords, yeah, So, and then my defense card is at the bottom of the deck. It came out with the 7 of Wands. But clarifying that 2 of Swords in reverse, I have the Lovers, okay, the World card, and the Tower, which is funny because that's also crowning you. So definitely thoughts about the past and the pain has come from that. I also got something a little bit similar for Libra's reading about this defensiveness because I went what I've went through. But I feel like why this is occurring is going to be different for you. The Lovers, the World, and the Tower. So for a lot of you guys, this was a romantic situation. I feel for a lot of you guys, you cut off a person or certain people because you had to, but internally you have not. And so even though that particular that cycle has ended, hold on, I'm trying to pick them up. So even though that cycle has ended with that Tower and the World card, it must have been pretty, not violent, what's the word? Because when I see the Tower, because there's many of these cards mean transformation or change of some kind. The Tower, the Death card, the World card, something completing. But when I get the Tower, it's very aggressive. It's almost like a dynamite, like a demolition. You know what I mean? It just feels like it demolishes your world. And so a lot of that choice had to do with the Tower and not because you might have wanted to within. Hence why I'm thinking the 2 of Swords is in reverse. And I got the 8 of Wands that wanted to fall out. I'm going to put it back in the deck, but I think it's because it kind of happened. Everything happened fast. It's giving me this just happened very fast. It happened a little bit more swifter than you thought. It hit a little harder than you were maybe particularly ready for. So being in this situation of healing has had to happen in layers. For me to get all 3 major arcana like that, the Lovers, the World, and the Tower, it was like, it's giving me love is a battlefield, and I don't want to go back to war just so I can have this. What am I chasing here? I keep going to war and I've yet to have that rainbow. That's what it's giving me. I didn't even ask the question yet, but I feel like I was supposed to come out. I'm clarifying the Tower and the 5 of Swords crowning you. Clarify the Tower. The Chariot. These are good cards. And the 5 of Swords, please. 10 of Wands. And the Hanged Man. So, some of y'all might not like what I'm about to say. So, the Tower and the 5 of Swords. So, regardless of what this love is, the 5 of Swords is giving me you're not going to steal from me. You're not going to take what I fought for. You're not going to take the knowledge that I've gained. I feel like whoever this might be, whether romantic or whoever situation, and whether they meant to or not, they tried to take your wisdom. It challenged your wisdom. It challenged the facts you knew. It challenged everything you've learned in life. And I feel like a petty, not even the petty, just like a tit for tat kind of energy. I'm about to pick up on my swords. No, you're not gonna take my stuff. No. And you sent people walking. You know what I mean? And that's created a Tower effect, because just because you felt that way, it doesn't necessarily mean that you didn't love this individual or individuals. I have the Magician, the Chariot, and the 10 of Wands. That means this Tower was manifested. I feel like there's a knowing inside of you that you knew that Tower was going to come down. For some of you, you may have very well caused it. For some of you, and I really mean some, there's guilt about that. I don't think there should be guilt. Because with the Magician, that's what you manifesting. And the Chariot means you were in the right direction, balancing yourself out. But it's a burden having to do that. You know, it really is a burden when you're trying to do the right thing and be healthy and use what you learned. And you always got to be in this tit for tat energy with some motherfucker that doesn't know everything you know, that hasn't experienced everything you experience, that's not willing to be honest, that's not willing to be worthy, that's not willing to be connected to themselves. So it's kind of like you had to knock this person at the knees or at the feet. This is giving me very, you hurt somebody's feelings by just telling the truth with that Queen of Swords. And it's like doing the right thing and being on the right path is a burden if nobody else is on the damn path, especially somebody you want to bring with you. So there's this, and with the Chariot as well, that back and forth, it's like, you know, I was correct. I did everything correct. I've been honest. I've brought honesty. I've brought trust. I brought compassion. I've brought empathy. I brought all these things to the table. I did it right. They were doing it wrong. I had to set them straight. I had to humble them. I had to let them know. And then there's this other part where it's like, maybe I should be more empathetic to them. Maybe I should have been more understanding on where they are in their life and all this stuff. There's that back and forth. Yeah, that's the tit for tat. That Five of Swords is within you. Shit. Well, you went from doing it with another to doing it with yourself. Because I do understand being frustrated. But I think the reason why you're going back and forth is because there's a difference between somebody not understanding the things you understand because they don't have the wisdom and knowledge. Sorry, I keep looking down the whole time. I'm just getting the message, not focusing on looking. There's a difference between not being hard on someone and respecting where they are in life, right? And then they try to play you. They try to clown you. Whether it's maliciously on purpose or whether, you know, with their intentions, or it's out of their defensiveness and within their insecurities, their own shadow. Regardless, it really doesn't matter because they sliced you up the same. It's unfortunate no matter which angle you're looking at it, but that is what it is. And I think that's where the back and forth coming from. And I feel like what you're trying to do is manifest both of those ideals, where you're trying to still hold yourself accountable and humble and keep trying to balance yourself out and still holding compassion for others, but feeling like they won't let you within this circle. Shit. What's the and there's a Hangman at the bottom of the deck as well, my clarifying deck, and there's a Hangman in the future coming up with that Judgment. So we're going to see what that's about. But first, let's go through your environment right now. It's the Strength card. This is giving me holding back and strength. Yeah, that Knight of Cups, that fleety ass love. Yeah, still Hangman at the bottom. Shit. All right, so clarifying that strength, I have the Knight of Cups. This is my hopeless, not my hopeless romantic. They go for hopeless romantics. They're the ones who's doing everything right. These are my wooers. These are my, they fall in love just as fast as they fall out of love, right? And then there's the Page of Wands, which is somebody a little bit immature, I feel, within their passion. Maybe sexual, maybe jumping into something too fast sexually. And then the Ace of Pentacles, which is something tangible, opportunity, a brand new way of some kind of stability or security. With the Strength card, I just feel like that's a lot to do with pulling back away from that energy, trying not to allow this wooing but fleeting love get you a little, how do I describe? Because I don't want to say it so, I want to have some tact here, but it's kind of like, you know, it's just like, oh, I'm just overcome, and it's like a wave of emotion, and you're ready to kind of, and then you feel it, you know, and then you're ready to jump right in with them, if you catch my drift, especially physically. And I feel like the strength, and the, not restriction, but more so, just pulling back from that. It's not really like restricting you as much as it's just you're trying to balance that out and have some control over that. Not just trying to control yourself down, but understanding is giving you a feeling of more stability. At least that's how you're seeing it in your environment. Because I feel like the reason why you're in this stage of trying to have compassion with yourself and patience with yourself when it comes to this is because you've been knocked off your feet by the waves of love before. For some of you, this is, for a lot of you, this is clearly romantic. For some of y'all, this is family. This is a particular family member. And so instead of saying sexual, it's more of like, they get me excited. They get me, so into them. I end up just loving them so much. And I think about them and da-da-da-da-da. And then all of a sudden they test your gangster. They test your patience. It's feeling like both. I feel like it's the same thing, but it affects differently depending on the relationship, whether it's romantic or it's family or it's friends or something like that. So it's real heavy romantically, but it's much more than romance. So pay attention to that. Clarify the Hanged One and the Judgment card. The Hanged One in the near... I got the Judgment in reverse. And then I got the Emperor. What? And then I got the Six of Wands in my bottom of my deck. This is recognition, recognizing yourself in order to be recognized by others. I'm going to clarify one more because I feel like it's giving me vague. The Seven of Swords. So the Hangman and the Judgment is about seeing things in a different perspective and being enlightened by it because of those truths. There's something you're not seeing that's a complete and total lie that you're about to find out. The Emperor is experiences. The Emperor is the king of all kings. For some of y'all, this can just really simply be, when you're dealing, because there's 4 kings in the deck, right? King of Wands, Queen of Swords, King of Wands, Swords, Pentacles, Water, right? The Emperor has mastered all those things. He is the king of all kings in the deck, And he's been through a lot and he's experienced things. I'm going to see if it's going to come up. And hopefully I address it. I got the Eight of Wands at the bottom of the deck too. So this is going to happen soon. Could be 8 weeks, 8 days. But this is happening soon. The truth of what you believe to be the truth is the truth, but your perspective, the perspective on it itself is a lie. How you see your experiences is one-sided. One half of the truth. And you need both sides. If you have half of the if you only have half of the truth, it's still a lie. You need the other side of that perspective. You need to see it. You need to flip yourself upside down, because it's hard to say, because this is a general reading and this may mean something different to each and every one of you individually. However, because you understand your perspective, you're understanding other people's perspective, so it's kind of like a back and forth where you're hard on yourself or hard on other people, or understanding of them and hard on yourself, or understanding of yourself and hard on other people. There is a fact missing there. I don't know what it is. It's a fact missing there. It's a third thing right in the middle that balances it all out, and then you'll be enlightened. Let me just keep going. In your hidden energy, I have Eight of Wands reversed. Maybe these extra cards will give me some more information on that, because there's something there. And I don't want this to be an hour. Clarify the Eight of Wands in reverse for the Leo energy, please. Eight of Wands in reverse. What's hidden is that... Okay, so what I was just describing, I was just trying to figure it out too, with that Judgment and that Hangman and needing that other part of the truth, and I got the Eight of Wands, things happening very fast. It's going to come very fast. However, in your hidden energy, that same Eight of Wands is in reverse. And that's because here we got the Five of Wands, which is competing, competition, fighting, conflict, the Page of Swords, which is watching, still learning, figure out something, and then the Five of Swords. We just talked about that tit for tat within oneself. I feel like, honestly, yeah, I'm deeply feeling that this has a lot to do. This has to do with how you perceive pain. Because in your strength, I have the Five of Cups. That's grief. You would think that's not a strength, but it is. Clarify the Five of Cups. I'm not gonna lie, I'm having a Five of Pentacles feeling, oh yeah, okay, so why am I having a hard time? And the Death card at the bottom of the deck. I said this in the beginning of the reading, and then I'm sitting here like, what is it? So, I'll clarify some more though. With the Five of Cups in your strength, and the Five of Pentacles and the Six of Wands, there's a difference between holding yourself accountable or feeling guilt about something, and then just feeling like you aren't enough. Some of you guys are not being honest with yourselves about how you put down yourselves. You think it's humbling. You think it's, oh, I'm just giving myself criticism to be like this because I know I'm like this and I know I'm like that. You know what I'm saying? And some of y'all are saying this shit out loud and not realizing then that it is manifesting a perpetual state of this lack, where he can't even accept all this extra coin. She's still crying and can't turn around and see 2 cups. It's just, you think it's honesty. That's what it is. You think it's honesty, but it's and just humbling yourself, but it's not. It's a lie. Some of y'all are victim shaming yourself.